help me feel good today? How can I show myself love today? What's the most self-loving thing I can do for myself today? Could be anything. Whatever your mind comes up with. Could be taking a break, could be taking a walk, could be feeding yourself something that makes you feel really good. Could be watching some comedy, could be whatever it is. What could you do for yourself today? And what can you do for those you love today? Sometimes it feels great to be giving love and support to others. And then also asking, okay, what actions can we take in the relationship to rebuild the trust and connection so we both feel happier, safer and secure? Adam and his wife Karina were a couple that I worked with recently, and they were suffering because Karina could not help wondering if Adam, who had a physical affair 2 years back, was still thinking about the other woman. Adam told Karina that he wanted to move on with her and loved her, and Karina asked for absolute, total honesty moving forward. Adam agreed to that and said he would. So, when she asked him, "Do you still think about the affair, lady?" he said, "Yes, sometimes I do." Karina was heartbroken and wasn't sure what to do. And yet Adam kept reassuring her that he was committed to her and their 2 daughters, and that he needed time to get over this other woman. He'd been hoping that with time, this woman would fade away. And I soon realised that Adam had been living a life on the crazy 8 for many years. He had been angry at the world, fearful of the future, on the high intensity side, and then used to go into feeling worthless, depressed, and he had the affair as a way to escape this loop and his uncomfortable feelings. He had very low self-esteem, he felt unattractive, like a failure as his finances and career weren't how he expected them to be at this time in his life. He felt sad that his wife was not happy and his teenagers barely spoke to him. He was on the crazy 8 loop, and the obsessive thoughts about another woman helped him to escape his painful thoughts that he was having about himself. So he used all of his energy and attention to focus on somebody else. And when we realised this, we began working on his self-esteem, and he no longer needed the escape. He felt good in himself and determined to make the family happy as well as himself. He realised that he could take control of his thoughts, that he didn't have to think about this other woman to feel good. He was good enough in himself. And the Breakthrough Intensive helped him to release those negative emotions, change the way he saw himself, gave him energy, positivity, love to give, because he had love for himself and he had positive emotions and moods. So he was then able to save the relationship. And it's important to understand that change does not need to take a long time, as I mentioned earlier. All we have to understand is that our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings lead to actions or lack of actions, right? They lead to behaviours. So change your thoughts and beliefs, your emotions and state will change, the actions and your behaviour will change, and then you'll feel good about yourself. Because thoughts are just thoughts. As I've mentioned before, we have on average 60,000 to 70,000 a day, according to the latest data in neuroscience, and apparently 90% of those thoughts are on repeat unless we change them. So if you change the way that you speak to yourself, if you change the thoughts about yourself, if you change the thoughts about your future, if you believe that you can experience all of those wonderful emotions that life has to offer, if you believe that you can get through this quickly, you will. If you believe you won't, if you say to yourself, "I'm stuck," your mind will say, okay, you're stuck. I'm stuck. I'm not going to do anything. We're stuck. So we need to change the way that we think. So what I did for this couple that came to me, Adam and Karina, is I worked with them from the foundation upwards. And by that I mean understanding and clearing their unhelpful thought patterns, doing an intensive breakthrough with them each to become the best versions of themselves, to feel naturally happy and alive. And of course, you will feel appropriate sadness and anger in the future when we clear the negative emotions of the past. And that's healthy and normal. We wouldn't want somebody to never feel those emotions again, but they're appropriate to the situation. They're not stacked up sadness, stacked up anger. They don't have a energy of low self-esteem and self-attacking energy behind it. And they also will be reacting to that moment, and they don't last long. When you are filled up with positive thoughts, you can't stay in this loop, in the sadness, in the anger, the fear, the depression, because you'll be able to move yourself out of it. You feel the feeling, you come to a solution. What can you do about it? How can you think about it differently? You release it. And that's literally what we go through and help people learn how to do in the breakthrough. So they can go in the direction that they want to go, because it feels good to feel good, obviously, and that's what we all want, right? So we release the emotions, we release the doubts about themselves. That is important. If you are having self-critical thoughts, please change them. They will affect you, they will affect the relationship and the whole house energy. And then it's about putting in new wholesome thoughts about yourself, positive things, and getting excited about your future. So once I did that individually with them, then we were ready to do some relationship coaching, where they both chose what are their most important needs from my 25 need list. And these are 25 actions to rebuild closeness, trust, and love. And you can do this step yourself. You can literally take some time, sit down, list 8 things that are most important for you to have in a relationship. Things that you value, things that make you feel loved, alive, good in a relationship. And then start sharing them one by one with one another. And this will help you to grow, this will help you to evolve. And it will help you to focus on the future that you want to create, on the goals that you want to create, rather than being stuck in the past. And also there has to be actions for every week, every day if you live together full time. I'm working with a lot of couples at the moment separated who work apart because of the COVID. Sometimes it's made them stay together now, and sometimes it's kept couples even further apart because they're unable to see each other with the travel restrictions. And then lastly, we focus on developing really good communication skills, listening, understanding, so that there can be more calmness and peace in the home. Everyone, of course, communicates things in different ways, and when we can do it from a calm, centered place, without the anger, without the blame, without the going over the past, difficult conversations can be had. If you try to do that when you are in the heightened side of that loop, the conversations often don't go very well. So it needs to be when you are calm. So rest assured, change your thoughts, you'll change your emotions, you'll change the actions that you take, you'll feel better. And so really, I highly recommend that. And I do the live meditations in the Facebook group if you want to join and listen, because those help with positive thoughts. They are literally 15 minutes or so meditation, focusing on what do you want to experience? What is going to make you feel good? And if you have any questions with me, if you'd like to learn more about my couples program for affair recovery or my individual breakthrough programs, then you can go to my website and book a 20-minute introduction call with me where we can discuss, and you can decide from there how you would like to move forward. From my heart to yours, thank you so much, and looking forward to joining you again next week. Bye!
Thank you for listening to How to Save Your Marriage with Nicola Beer. To book your free marriage strategy session today, you can visit www.nicolabeer.com, where you can also get the free marriage fixing ebook, request a topic for the show, and make a donation if the show has been of benefit to you and you want to help keep it going. We wish you an amazing love-filled day ahead.